Hare Krishna. I welcome everyone to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Thank you all so much for joining us today. We are very, very happy to have our Madhva Kids presentation again. Today we have Sevyapara Devi Dasi, who's going to present on behalf of the Madhva Kids. She came to Krishna consciousness about 3 years ago when she had the good fortune of coming in contact with the congregation in Melbourne, where she got very good guidance from all the devotees. She was 14 years old when she received Harinam Diksha by her spiritual master, His Holiness Vedavyasa Priya Swami Maharaj, in November 2021. So that was 1 year ago. She enjoys teaching children shlokas and the meaning of our scripture and the meaning of different scriptures. She loves doing kirtan and hearing lectures. Amarendra Prabhu has been a very inspiring person in her life who has directed her to the right path of Krishna consciousness. So we are very, very fortunate to have Sevyapara with us, and she is going to present on a very interesting topic. Okay, so she has quoted a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam that was spoken by Prahlad Maharaj. Bhaktyā tutoṣa bhagavān gaja-yūtha-pāya Utkanta Bhakti. So that is the topic. And we'll figure out what she's trying to say through this topic name as we hear the class about Utkanta Bhakti. So Sevyapara, you can now take over the call. Hare Krishna, thank you so much.
Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yūtha-pāya Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusate Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you for giving me this opportunity for participating in this prestigious Bhakti Sangha Japa group, which is, helped me a lot in certain things. And please pray for me that I may be able to speak the right things in the spirit of service at the right time. And I seek the blessings of all the little Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis and the Matajis and everybody in this call to please pray for me that I may be a good devotee in Krishna consciousness. So today I chose to speak about this topic because it helps me from all the directions to come to one point. So I made this small PowerPoint that I will, help to guide along. It's not a PowerPoint presentation, but the presentation is to help me. So I'll start with one shloka, which describes the beauty of Lord Vishnu. Sa shankha chakra sa kirita kundalam sa piyeta vastram sarasi ruhekshanam sahara vakshasthala shobhi kaustubham namami vishnum shirasa chaturbhujam. So this is from the Vishnu Sahasranam, and it describes the beauty of Lord Vishnu. He says the shankha and the chakra he's holding, and he's got beautiful earrings, and he's wearing yellow clothes, and he has a beautiful crown, and there's a beautiful necklace that he's wearing. Now, most people in India, at least, can believe that Lord Vishnu is eternal. They have no doubt in that, no question, nothing. But some people think that Lord Ram and Lord Krishna were just some incarnations. They came and they went. Right? They just come and they go. But that's not true. Recently, we celebrated the Festival of Ram Navami. That is the appearance of Lord. Some people think that this is, so Lord Ram appeared on Ram Navami and he left. But actually, that was a way of manifesting himself on the earth. It was not like, him coming, that's when he appeared. Before that, he didn't exist. It was not like that. He's always been existing. And how do we know that? I think all of us know Vivasvan, right? Manurikshvaka Vivravit. Vivasvan Manave Prahar Manurikshvaka. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, I instructed this science to the sun god Vivasvan. So then Arjuna thinks, hang on, you are my friend. And we both are similar age, and you only appeared a few, years ago. How can you say that you instructed this to the sun god? The sun god is eternal. The Lord only appears in two dynasties, the sun dynasty or the moon dynasty. And Lord Ramachandra, he appeared in the sun dynasty. So Arjuna is confused. He said, how come you instructed this to Vivasvan? He was, much older than you. And Lord Krishna said, I am eternal. So Lord Ram is also eternal. How do we know that? So the sun dynasty started from the sun god Vivasvan. Right? The sun dynasty started from the sun god Vivasvan. And he was gifted, I think by Lord Brahma, the deities of Lord Ram and Sita. He was gifted the deities of Lord Ram and Sita. And he passed them down generation after generation after generation. And when Dashrath Maharaj got them, he gave them to Lord Ram. And Lord Ram says, how can I worship my own deities? And imagine if your parents give you one deity of yourself. Worship this every day. What would you do? You'd think, oh no, they've gone crazy. Lord came as a Maryada Purushottama, where he displays how to live as an ideal human being. Right? How to live as an ideal human being. That's what he came to display. And if he starts worshipping himself, people of Kali Yuga will think that I am only God. I should worship myself. See, Lord Ram, he came as Maryada Purushottama and he was worshipping himself. That's not good. So Lord Ram gave them to a Brahmana, but Lord Krishna was not like that. Lord Krishna, he was not like that. He was not, that, oh, I shouldn't worship myself. One day, he was a 5-year-old boy. Right? He was playing along the Yamuna and he saw a reflection of himself. He was thinking, oh, who is this beautiful boy? He's, blue color and he's got so nice clothes and everything. He was thinking like that. But who is this beautiful person? And then he looked carefully and thought, this is me only. Right? There's a verse in the Venu Geet describing this beauty. 1 minute. So if my internet connection goes bad, just please tell me in the chat because I'm not in a very urbanized place right now. So the verse in the Venu Geet is Barha Pidam Natavara Karnayo Karnikaram Vibhrat Vasah Kanaka Kapisham Vaijayantim Jamalam Randhran Venuratharas Sudhaya Purayan Gopa Vrinder Vrindaranyam Swapadaramanam Pradvishad Gita Kirti. So it's a very beautiful verse. It's like describing how Lord Krishna has a peacock and a flute. Peacock feather, a flute, and he's surrounded by, the forests of Vrindavan. It's really beautiful verse. You should go through it. And he's the best of dancers, Natavara. So such beauty of Lord Krishna is described. So he was very beautiful. Even in Dwaraka, he was just, going through the palace and on the pillars, he saw his own reflection. And he thought, oh, who is this? Who is this beautiful person I'm seeing the reflection of? Lord Krishna was not that, humble. Of course, the Lord doesn't have to be humble, but he didn't, hide his beauty. Why did he not hide his beauty? To know that, why did he not hide his, why did he not display to everyone? So why did he display that I am God? Clearly, boldly he said. Why did he do that? For that, we have to see, why did he first of all come? In the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam yadharmasya tadatmanam srijamiham. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, all this period, millennium after millennium, that is all okay. Right? He says to deliver the pious. For that, one Prabhupada is enough. To deliver all the pious people, one Prabhupada is enough. And to annihilate the miscreants, he doesn't have to come. He can just, glance at the miscreants and they can be gone. Within like the 1 second, in his mind, he can destroy all the demons. He doesn't have to personally come and, kill them. But then why did he come? He came to attract the devotees back to Godhead. Right? He came to attract the devotees back to Godhead. He manifested in this earth. So first of all, his name is only Krishna. Karshayati iti Krishna. The one who attracts. The potency of attraction. If you see somebody and you're really like, wow, they're so good devotee. Like you see somebody in your congregation, they're so good devotee, they're good at school, they're good at sports, they're good at being devotees, they're good at everything. Then don't you feel that, oh, I should also be like them? Like you take inspiration from them, right? I'm sure there is somebody in every congregation that, you feel that this person is so good, I also want to be like him. Right? That kind of feeling he wanted to give, that you should come back to me. In the Bhagavatam, it is given so much description of his pastimes, of his, love to his devotees, everything is given. Then why should we not accept it? Right? And what is even more? Sorry. What is even more powerful than the name of Lord Krishna? Than Lord Krishna. What is more powerful than Lord Krishna is his holy name. His holy name is more powerful than himself. You know why? Because we cannot see Krishna in front of our eyes, right? Because we're not that merciful. That not every time we close our eyes, we don't see Krishna, do we? That every time I close my eyes, I see, the beautiful pastimes of Krishna manifesting. See, we're not that great of devotees. At least I can speak for myself. We're not that great of devotees that we can do that. But when we chant his names, we can clearly chant them without any problem. We don't have to be like, I'm not that great of a devotee, so I can't, say Krishna or Hare, right? Or Rama. We can't not say that. Some people have problems, but most of us are fine. So we are fortunate enough to chant the holy name of Krishna. In the Kevalashtakam, 8 verses are compiled. Harir Namaiva Kevalam. Madhuram Madhurebhyopi Mangalephyopi Mangalam Pavanam Pavanebhyopi Harir Namaiva Kevalam. Like that, 8 verses are compiled. Why? Only describing that the sweetest of all, the most auspicious and purifying of everything is the holy name of Krishna. But unfortunately, that also has boundaries. 10 offenses. We chant them every day in the morning to blaspheme the devotees or dedicated their lives in the propaganda of the holy name. All these 10 offenses we have around the name of Krishna. Then what name doesn't have sorry, what is the time? Okay. So what name doesn't have that boundary around it? So Lord Krishna's name has some, criteria that you must follow, that you should never, blaspheme any devotees. You shouldn't compare the name of Lord Krishna to some demigods. You should never disobey the order of the spiritual master. There's some rules. Then you're going to think, oh, this also has rules. But someone is even more merciful than the holy name of Krishna. And that was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He came and he gave out the fruit of Krishna Bhakti, like, it's so precious, and he's giving it out so mercifully. He's just giving it out so mercifully without any discrimination. Without any discrimination. And to chant Lord Gauranga's name, you don't have to, do anything. It's just so easy to chant. That's why sometimes when you go out on Harinam or book distribution, what we do is that we ask people to chant Gauranga. Because some people can't say Krishna's name. It's just not possible. Like there was one of our neighbors, a few years ago, she used to live next door to us. And she just couldn't say Krishna. It was just a very much tongue twister for her. So we asked her to say Gauranga, and that she was able to see easily. You don't need some Punya Sukriti or something like that. It's very freely. But for that also, there is one small qualification. To do anything, there is some qualification, right? If you want to get into a good school, or if you want to go to some college, there is some qualification that you need, right? That I'm sure there's some, certain schools in America that everybody wants to get into, right? I can't name them because I'm not aware of them, but some schools or some, at your school there's some basketball team and you really want to get into that. You have to be some qualified, right? A little bit of qualified at least. So like that, there's some qualification. To approach Nityananda Prabhu also, there is very small qualification. And what is that qualification? Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripa Balokana Karo Ami Boda Dukhi. To approach Nityananda Prabhu, you only have to say one thing. And what is that thing? The small thing you have to say to Nityananda Prabhu, that I am very unfortunate, Ami Bora Dukhi. I'm very unfortunate to be suffering in this material world. Again, A for apple, B for ball, C for cat, D for dog. Again, lifetime after lifetime, same thing I have to learn. Again, go to grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, and then go to university, and then go to some, job, and then, earn money and then live, and then again, A for apple, B for ball, C for cat. And then again, everything after entire lifetime, struggling so hard. Even if I earn so much money, again, everything will be gone. Again, A for apple, B for cat. Sorry, A for apple, B for bat, and C for cat. Do we want to learn ABCD again? Do we want to go to grade 1 again? 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, and 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. And then after that, have more problem. We don't want that again and again, right? So just we have to pray like that to Nityananda Prabhu. Ami Bora Dukhi. I'm very unfortunate to be struggling in this material world again and again. Today we have some COVID-19. And 10 years later we have some other 21, something like that. Again there'll be lockdown, virus, this, that. Recently we had flooding in our city. Some flooding, some tsunami will come, some, earthquake will only come. One day they'll say earth only blasted. God knows what will happen. We don't want to come back again in this Kali Yuga ever, any time. That's why Lord Krishna says, "Ah Brahma Bhuvana Loka." From the highest planet of Brahma to the lowest, "Ah Brahma Bhuvana Loka, Punar Avarti Norjana," you will come back again. If you attain to Brahma Loka, you will come back again. A for apple, B for bat, and C for cat. Again. But if you come to my abode, "Ah Brahma Bhuvana Loka, Punar Avarti Norjana," Mam upetya to kamteya. Come back to my abode, O son of Kunti, and you shall never return. Never return. Why do we want to come back in this Kali Yuga? Honestly speaking, do we want to come here again? So I can see some people on my screen. Avyukta. Does Avyukta want to, after, I don't know what grade you are in, maybe like 5 or 6, then 7, 8, 9, 10, everything done again, and then she gets a job, maybe she becomes a doctor, and then she studies more, and then she grows old, and then again she takes birth again, and then she's back in kindergarten. She's thinking, such a nice life. See, I'm only in kindergarten, I don't remember my past, we don't want to suffer again. So like that, there's some small qualification to achieve the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that actually brings us to our topic today. For some reason, my PowerPoint is hanged. I'll share my screen again. Just 1 minute, sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm just. Okay. So after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is one small qualification for that. That actually brings us to our topic today. Utkanta Bhakti. So what does Utkanta Bhakti mean? I mean, if you know Sanskrit, then you can easily know what it means. But Utkanta Bhakti means, so Ut means up, and Kantha means throat, and Bhakti means devotion. So that devotion, that attraction for devotion, okay, I'll give you an example. If there's a small child, maybe 1 or 2 years old, and you put them in a cot that comes up to their head, right? You put them in a cot and it's very high that it comes up to their head. And you leave them in a room and you go outside. They're sleeping and then they wake up. And they, put their hand over there and look like this. They stick their head out and see what is going on. Why am I here? Where is everybody else? That eagerness to jump out of the material world with your throat aligned with the border is called Utkanta Bhakti. The eagerness of devotion, that what is going on outside this material world, right? What is going on outside? That eagerness to the bhakti will get you to the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's all he asks for. He doesn't ask, okay, you must wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, do Mangala Aarti, put tilak, do your japa, do Tulsi Puja, then Narsimha Aarti, then chanting, and then this and then that, and Ekadashi in 64 rounds, and then Pandav Nirjal. Today is actually Ekadashi in India. Anyway, this Chaturmas, then Kartik, then this, then Purushottam. Oh my God. He doesn't ask for any of that. He just says, show me the eagerness in bhakti. You don't have to wear some fancy clothes and, all this. Just eagerness in bhakti will get you to the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's all he asks for. He doesn't ask anything else. You don't have to be very rich. You don't have to be very poor. Nothing. No other thing is necessary. Only the eagerness that if you're a child and you're looking out of the cot, you're trying to jump out with your kantha touching the border of the material world. When you dance in the kirtan, your hands are up in the air. Why? They're up in the air. You're calling out, my Lord, pick me up. You're that, up, that I want to come up. Utkanta Bhakti. That highness is required for the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And like I said before, no other qualification is needed. Prahlad Maharaj, he says in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the first verse of the Prahlad Maharaj prayers, Manye dhanabhijana rupa tapashvataujas teja prabhava bala paurusha buddhi yogaha naradhanaya hi bhavanti parasya pumsa bhaktyā tutoṣa bhagavān gaja-yūtha-pāya. So in my topic, I quoted the last line of this verse, bhaktyā tutoṣa bhagavān gaja-yūtha-pāya. Now Prahlad Maharaj in this verse is saying, so what is happening? I'll just set the scene a little bit. Narsimhadev has come, he's destroyed Hiranyakashipu, all that has happened, and now people are trying to pacify Narsimhadev. Lord Brahma has tried, Lakshmi Devi has also tried, all the demigods have tried, nobody is able to. So they asked Prahlad Maharaj. Now Prahlad Maharaj is thinking, now in this verse he's saying that I am from a demoniac family. Prahlad Maharaj is the son of Hiranyakashipu, and Hiranyakashipu is a demon. So he's saying, I'm from a demoniac family, and I have no qualification or no cleanliness to actually worship you. Or, Lord Brahma has tried. I'm just a 5-year-old boy. Lord Brahma has tried. Even Lakshmi Devi has tried. She's not able to pacify you, then what to talk about me? So he's thought of, he's saying, Na aradhanaya. I cannot worship you because I'm so unqualified. But at the last line, he said, bhaktyā tutoṣa bhagavān gaja-yūtha-pāya. But I'm very thankful that you're so merciful that even, an animal, gaja-yūtha-pāya, he's referring to Gajendra over there. We all know the story of Gajendra, right? It's quite a famous story that the crocodile caught his leg, and then he was Indradyumna king in his previous life. So he remembered some prayers and he offered them. And Lord Vishnu came. So he's saying, you're so merciful that even an elephant is able to approach you. So you must be able to accept my prayers. So what I'm trying to get out of this verse is some might think that, we're living in some unfavorable place, in some isolated corner of the world. There's no devotee association. There's no temple. There's no deities. My mind is only not there in Bhakti. My family is only not Krishna conscious. My friends are not Krishna conscious. My teacher is only not Krishna conscious. My principal is not Krishna conscious. I don't feel interest. All these bahanas or reasons we can have. But over here, Prahlad Maharaj, was his father a devotee? His father was a king of the world. Was he a devotee? No. But still Prahlad Maharaj is a devotee. That's a very good one. Not just half-baked devotees. He was a very good devotee. And Vibhishan, was his brother, mother, sister, father, anybody a devotee? Still among the association of demons, if Vibhishan can be a devotee, and among the association of devotees, if Mantra can be a non-devotee, then when we have a mix, we have no reason or no excuse to not be a devotee. That's what I'm trying to say. That sorry, I need to keep track of the time. Okay. Even, if Gajendra, being an elephant, can, offer his prayers, and Prahlad Maharaj, who had become a victim of, literal murder by his own father, and Vibhishan, when his brother, who was ruling the world like anything, and such a demoniac Ravana was his brother, and he can be a devotee, but nothing else. I'll tell you one small story. Oh Lord Ram's devotee Vibhishan. He was writing Ram on his wall. It's a very famous story, you must know. He was writing Ram on his wall. Like everywhere, Ram, 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 like that. He's imprinting all his wall. Then Ravan walked in. He said, so you're living in my kingdom, and you're not, first of all, you're living in my kingdom. I'm giving you your, food, water, everything. And you're writing my enemy's name on your wall. What a kind of a brother you are. He was thinking, you're writing Ram on the wall. He's my enemy, but you're living in my kingdom. And then Vibhishan thought, now I'm in trouble. So he said, actually, this is not your enemy's name. This is your name only. He said, how? He said, see, Ra for Ravan and Ma for Mandodari. Mandodari was Ravana's wife. He said, I'm putting your name only. But if I put Ravan Mandodari everywhere, I may not able to fit it that many times. So this is a shortcut. You know how in texting these days, there's some shortcuts like that. He said, and this one shortcut, Ravan Mandodari. And Ravana was like, amazing. I order my soldiers to imprint my entire kingdom with Ram's name, Ravan Mandodari. So Vibhishan was very smart. And Mantra, on the other hand, when everybody was a devotee, she still was a non-devotee. And most of you are very lucky to be living in a good country or a goodish country like America, where you're not choked to death for following what you want to follow, right? You can have harinams on the street, you can do book distribution, you can open temples. So nothing should be stopping you, right? Do we have that eagerness? We all want to, attain Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. But we don't have that eagerness. Oh, I'm just a grade 4, so I don't have to do Ekadashi. I'm sick today, so I can't finish my chanting. Oh, it's already 8:30 in the night. I can't finish my chanting. Oh, today I can't go to Mangala Aarti. Yesterday I slept very late. Yesterday I slept at 9:30, so I can't wake up at 4:30. Oh, yesterday only I went to Mangala Aarti, no? So why do I have to go today? Oh, this Prabhuji lecture is very boring. I can't stand this. All these reasons we can't give, because actually we should be very thankful to the Lord that He has given us this bhakti. We should be very thankful that He's given us this bhakti. If we give these silly reasons, like yesterday only I did yesterday was also fast, today is also fast. How come? Oh, yesterday only was Janmashtami, then why again Prabhupada appearance they have to keep another half day fast? Oh, yesterday was Janmashtami. I had to do, midnight Aarti. Then how can I come to Mangala Aarti today? We should actually be very thankful for the Lord to give us this. Lord Krishna says that, I can't remember the verse. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate. Vasudeva, I can't get the verse, but there's one verse, I think somewhere in 7th chapter, that says that out of thousands and thousands and thousands of people, one of them has got the knowledge to surrender unto me. And out of thousands of those who have got the knowledge to surrender unto me, very rare it is for a pure devotee. First of all, to be a devotee, it is very rare. First of all, just to be a devotee, it is very rare. Even in the entire 3 worlds. And then to be a devotee in the human form is even rare. And to be a devotee in Kali Yuga is the most rarest thing that any demigod can ever imagine. They do thousands of years of tapasya just to get a human form in Kali Yuga, and so that they can do some bhakti and go back to Godhead. It is very rare to be a devotee in Kali Yuga. And what is even rare? To be sitting in such associations like Bhakti Sangha Japa group and discussing the pastimes of Krishna is so rare. What it is 2022. It's only about 500, 600 years into Kali Yuga. And already we can see, some bad symptoms of Kali Yuga. Terrorism, war. What is that country? Ukraine and Russia. What are they having right now? War. It is just 2 countries. Soon there will be a World War III. Right? After the World War III will be gone, everyone will say, thank God, finished. And then there will be another virus. Right? Another virus, again lockdown, and then 3 years gone. I'm coming to India after 3 years. After 3 years, I'm coming to India. Again, 4 or 5 years gone. And then after that, there'll be some natural disaster, some volcano, some this, that, something will come in the middle. And then after that, there'll be World War IV. And then people will think, what is happening? It will get worse and worse. It's not going to get better. People are thinking over here that, the world will get better, but it will not get better. It will get worse only. As you go more into Kali Yuga, things will start to get so bad that you will not want to live anymore. So better to do some bhakti and get out of here. If not for love of Krishna, if not for, having service of Radha and Krishna, at least for the misery to get out of here. Ami bora dukhi. Just say that to Nityananda Prabhu. Lord Krishna is very merciful. He's very, very merciful. He says that you write the exam, right? You write the exam, 50% you get correct, not even 75%. Just half mark. I don't know how you're graded in America, but over here you're graded with percentage, right? So 75% is a pass. But Lord Krishna says even 50% you get, you come back to me. You write the exam, 50% you come back to me. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Kali Yuga people, they won't be able to do that. In Kali Yuga, people won't be able to even get 50%. So then he says, you just write the exam. Even if you get 0, I'll call you back home. Even if you get 0. Do you see how merciful Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is? Even at a 0, he is ready to call you back. Even at a 0. That you don't even have to pass. But Nityananda Prabhu says, oh my Lord, how is this possible? To write the exam, you have to wake up. And after waking up, you have to take a bath. And after taking a bath, you have to wear some clothes. And then come and write the exam. It's too much. Lord Nityananda, he says, you just come, you write your name, and I will take you back. You don't even have to write the exam. Just write your name, and that's it. But Kali Yuga people are so lazy for that. Again, you have to get up, comb your hairs, wear some nice dress, put some cream on, wear your shoes, walk to the examination hall, hold the pen, write a few letters. People can't do that in Kali Yuga. That's how lazy we are. So Prabhupada said, you don't do anything. You just hold my dhoti and I will take you. But we are so unfortunate. Even after Prabhupada, he spent his night sleep translating books that we can read, and we are sleeping while reading Prabhupada's books. We should be very shameful of this. Prabhupada did so merciful things for us that you just hold on to my dhoti and I will take you. But for that, we have to hold on to something. That also we can't do. So we have to have some endeavor. Little bit is also fine. Some want that I need to go back home, back to God. We can't just, we are not like the Lord that we think and it happens. We have to do. Okay, on my screen I can see Ojasvi. Now Ojasvi's mom. If I ask her mom that does she love her daughter, she will say yes. Every mother love her child. Then, but when Ojasvi is hungry, her mother does not give her any food. Will Ojasvi believe that my mother loves me? Never gives her any food, never takes care of her, just whatever. No bother. Will Ojasvi get the feeling that my mother loves me? No, because her mother is not doing anything to show that love. She can't, okay, the child is crying, the mother cannot just think, yeah, I love my child, but let the child cry. No, I love my child, but the child is crying, you're not doing anything. But I still love my child. It doesn't work that way. You need to show your love. So you can't just think, yeah, I love Krishna and I want to go back to him. But again, at Friday night, I will go and watch the movie and then come home and then eat pizza in the morning and, go to the shopping center every weekend. But, I still love Krishna. I still want to be a devotee. No, I won't do chanting and stuff, but I love Krishna, Yeah, I want to go back. It doesn't work like that. You need to show your love. You can't do lazy bhakti. There is a thing called lazy bhakti, There's a real thing called lazy bhakti. It's when you don't do anything, but in your mind you think, yeah, I should probably, start doing something one day. Do that something before it gets too late. And today we saw that it's never too early. See, Prahlad Maharaj, how old was he? He was 5 years old, and I'm sure nobody over here is as young as 5. They might be, but there is no age in Krishna consciousness. There is, as soon as you can do things, if you can follow certain principles, you should take the next step. Right? Prahlad Maharaj didn't say, oh, I'm only 5 years old and I'm born. See, Prahlad Maharaj, if Prahlad Maharaj was like us, he had many reasons not to do Krishna consciousness. He said, first of all, he would say, I'm only a 5-year-old boy. And my father is also so demoniac, he doesn't let me do any bhakti. And my friends are also somewhat half-baked cookies. I can't do, it's so unfavorable for me. Everybody in my family is a meat eater. But no, he did not do that. He did not do that. He did not use, he thought that the Lord is so merciful that he has given me his remembrance. Even for me to move my hands, it is the Lord's mercy. Even for me to blink is the Lord's mercy. The Lord said, right, that even a blade of grass does not move without his will. So what we need to understand that us being situated in a Krishna conscious environment is a result of our pious activity. And we have been given this opportunity and we must utilize it properly so we can go back home, back to Godhead, and never come back in this world. Why? Because Radha and Krishna's pastimes are so sweet that nothing else in this world will give us happiness. See, we are all looking for something. Now, if I look around in my room, the most attractive, shiniest thing will catch my eye. Right? Now, all of you look around in your room. What thing catches your eye? It might be the window if it's the day. If it's like the night, it might be the moon from your window. Or it might be your favorite toy. It might be something like that. The most attractive thing in your room will catch your attention. Why? Because we're all looking for something attractive. Right? You won't go to some place that looks like, there's no grass on the ground, the trees have no leaves, and there's some, animals on the ground, just very sad, upset. You don't want to go such a place, right? If you want to spend your holiday, would you go to a nice place or a dull place? Obviously, anybody would go to a nice garden or, which looks nice. Why? Because we're looking for something attractive. And Krishna is that ultimate attraction. Karashayati iti Krishna. Krishna is that ultimate attraction. The literal meaning of Krishna is to attract or to pull closer, like a magnet. When you stick a magnet on your fridge, it immediately sticks, right? Why? Because it has the potency of attraction. Like that, Krishna's beauty also has the potency of attraction. He's very attractive, And you might think, how can we attain the potency of, not potency, but how can we get Krishna in our heart? For that, you have to clean your heart, right? As soon as someone, so right now, if, who should I get? Okay, I can only see Ojasvi on my screen. So if in Ojasvi's house, suppose one Mataji comes from your congregation, quickly you will clean the house, right? Put the stuff away, just stuff it in the cupboard, quickly clean the house, so it looks nice. So when a guest comes in your house, what do? You just clean the house like spotless. Nothing should be here and there, lying there. We shouldn't look messy. So when Krishna is coming in our heart, we need to clean our heart. How do we do that? You all know the answer. That we do that by chanting. Because chanting is purifying. Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Shri Rama Nama Tattvavyam Rama Nama Varanane. The name of Lord Rama is very purifying. And so is the name of Lord Krishna. And what is the most Krishna conscious thing in our house? Or the most potential thing in our house that can make us chant the holy name of Lord Krishna? What is that thing that immediately you look at it, you start chanting the Mahamantra? What is that thing? Think. if you think hard enough, you'll find out it's your bead bag. As soon as you touch the beads without even thinking, subconsciously in your mind, you'll start chanting Hare Krishna. So the beads in your house are the most potential thing, because they have that potency of making you chant. Even at the middle of the night, if someone wakes you up and puts your hand in the bead bag, you'll start chanting. Because as soon as you touch those beads, only one thing comes in your mind: oh, I have to chant. So your beads are actually as soon as you're chanting, right? And then you finish your round, right? Your 16th round done. And then as soon as you take your hand out of the bead bag, you stop chanting, right? You didn't want to stop chanting. It is your mind that told you to stop chanting. Because you are an eternal servant of Radha and Krishna. So you wouldn't want to stop chanting. But your bead bag is the only thing that actually places your mind at such a place where you can chant. See, if I take your hand out of your bead bag when you're chanting, immediately you'll stop. Right? Why? Because you're off the beads. But if you can still, see, okay, I need to phrase this properly. So when I take your hand out of the bead bag and you're still chanting, right, without your beads also, then at that stage, you can understand that you have known that the name of Krishna is the most purifying. See, I recently finished a book called Salted Bread. If you haven't read it, you should read it. It really shows that our silly excuses not to go to Mangalarti are nothing compared to what those devotees in Russia had to face. They were literally taken to jail. They were taken to jail and they were kept in miserable conditions. So miserable conditions that if it was, at least if it was me, then I wouldn't be able to do anything there. But they still chanted their 16 rounds every single day. This was after Prabhupada left this world, just a few years after. Every single day they chanted their rounds. How? They didn't have beads. They used to get some bread. They used to dip that in the water. So the bread was, first of all, not the bread that you get from the market. It was very old and powdery bread. That if you squeeze it, it will become powder. They used to put that in the water and make clay shapes out of that and make beads. That's how they used to at the end of their t-shirt, they used to cut some thread and make a mala out of that. So that was the condition they were living in. And yeah, people thought they were crazy. The prisoners, they thought they were crazy. So they sent them to a mental hospital. And they used to give them drugs. So they stopped chanting. But they never stopped chanting. They never ever stopped chanting. And even after so much thing, there was a devotee, his name was Sachi-Sutta Dasi. He left his body in the jail. And how he left his body? Not okay, done. He, first of all, he took the bedsheet and made it a dhoti. And then he used a toothpaste to make tilak. And out of those bread, he made some kanthi mala and a bead bag out of the bedsheet. And he sat in a lotus position and he chanted for about 3-4 hours. And the person who was in the cell with him, he was thinking, what is this guy doing? And after 3-4 hours, he stopped chanting. And the guy in the cell thought, what happened? So he looked and he had left his body. Like that, after living in the jail for 3 years, that was the result. See, even in the jail, they were able to do all this. So what to speak of us when we have such favorable conditions? We have a temple nearby, mostly all of us. And we have nice devotee association. We have this program, Bhakti Sangha Japa group, which helps us just sitting at home, aaram se, come in contact with devotees. We have such favorable conditions. And still, if we are making some excuses not to do bhakti, then it is our unfortune that even after getting a human body in Kali Yuga with the easiest process, our Yuga Dharma is Harinam Sankirtan. Even if we can't do that sincerely with faith, and with surrender, then we can't, that's very unfortunate. Our chanting can only be proper when we have full faith that Krishna will give me protection. It is the art of Sharanagati. It is the art of Sharanagati that helps us get closer to Krishna. Surrender. Prahlad Maharaj had so much surrender. Even when he was thrown down the cliff, he did not shake his arms like, oh my God, I'm falling, help me. He just stayed with his hands folded. He had full faith that I have done nothing wrong. The Lord will give me protection. That faith, if we have, then our chanting will be excellent. And our life will be also excellent. Because we know that I'm not the doer. I'm not the doer. We are being controlled. See, us as individual souls are the eternal servants of Radha and Krishna. We are the eternal servants of Radha and Krishna. We will never ever want to be away from Krishna. But our mind is, conditioned to get away from Krishna. And that too because we want to, ultimately. So what we got from today's thing was that when we have that eagerness, that Utkanta Bhakti, then we will attain the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And we don't have to be super qualified or, the only qualification needed to approach Lord Chaitanya is Ami Boro Dukhi. I'm very miserable. And say that with love. I'm very miserable. And to approach Lord Chaitanya is that eagerness to Bhakti, because he doesn't expect you to be rich or, any other qualification. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you. I hope I was able to do some service. And if there was anything that I said that you didn't like, please correct me. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Krishna, thank you so much, Sevyapara, for such a wonderful presentation. Prithvilasni Mataji, go ahead.
No, thank you, Sevyapara, for the beautiful presentation. We can open up the forum for.
Sevyapara, very beautiful presentation. So many points to take home, like how we should always feel that we are in trouble in this material world and understand that we are in danger, surrender to the Lord, and so that surrender with a full heart, not just half-hearted, saying that I surrender and do my own things. It's not correct. We have to surrender it fully so that Krishna will take us home back to him. Very nice presentation. Thank you so much. I open the forum for the question and answers. Please go ahead. If any questions, any realizations, comments for Sevyapara, please go ahead. Hope you all can unmute, right? No one is speaking. Okay. Is there anybody who would like to share their realization? Vikyat, go ahead.
Haribol, that was a really nice presentation. Thank you very much. It was very scholarly and very, very devotional as well.
Thank you.
Hi, Krishna, Sevyapara. I really liked your class. I could understand everything clearly, and I understood a lot from your class. I just have this question. When you were mentioning on how like Prabhupada, he was saying like it's very simple to go back to Krishna, just hold his dhoti and go. So like now Srila Prabhupada is not there, so like what does like hold his dhoti mean?
That's a good question. So hold his dhoti was like an analogy that he's made it so easy for us. So now that he's not there anymore, it literally doesn't mean that hold his dhoti. So even if he's not personally there, he's left his instructions through his books. So if you just study Srila Prabhupada's books very carefully and just simply follow what he said, like just have faith in him. When you go to a hairdresser, right? You have faith in the hairdresser, right? That he will cut my hair nicely. Or when you go in an airplane, you have faith in the pilot that he will not crash the plane. So similarly, you should have faith in the words of Srila Prabhupada, that what hold his dhoti means that just simply follow what he said. If he set out certain things, now, what grade are you in?
I'm in 5th grade.
Which one?
I'm in 5th grade.
5th. So now what you can do is that you can do the morning program and then go to school. And then at the end, you can do your like Gaura Aarti and Nrsimha. So with the morning program and the evening thing, it's a sandwich, a Krishna conscious sandwich. So in the middle, there's material things like going to school, and it's covered by Krishna conscious things. So what literally is the meaning of holding the dhoti is that it's so simple, just follow what he's saying. Just follow his footsteps. Yes, follow his footsteps.
Yeah,
I hope that answers.
that answer. Thank you.
Yes, so Devi. Haribol. You're muted.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I loved your presentation very much. The story that you said that of Vibhishana, that he was writing Rama everywhere, and Ravana said, "Why are you writing Ram's name?" But then Vibhishana said, "No, it's not Ram's name. It's Ravana and Mandodari." So then he told all the soldiers to write everywhere. And I liked the whole presentation and everything, and all details and everything I liked. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Sevyapara. I really like your Mataji.
You see Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I really like your presentation, and I like how did you say the stories, and I like all the things, but I would say.
Oh, tell what is your question louder.
Okay.
I can't hear
Yeah,
you.
she's sitting far away and she wants to ask something. Yeah, what is it?
How did you say that? How they make the chanting beads?
What?
When they were in the jail, how did they make the chanting beads?
When they were in the jail, how did they make the chanting beads? I don't know.
When they were in the jail, so you know how in the jail you get some food? So in the jail, they gave some meat food. So they do not eat that. So they used to ask the prisoners, can we have some bread? So like the jailkeepers, so the jailkeeper said, okay. So they gave them some bread, and using the bread, they made some clay. And with the clay, they made them circles and they attached them. You know how you have your t-shirt and there's like a fold. They removed that fold and got the dhaga or the thread out of that, and they put it in the beads, like to make like a necklace sort of thing. And they used to chant with that. They didn't have 108, they made like 54 or something. So they can repeat it twice. So with the clay they made, with the bread they made the clay. With the clay they made it round and they attached it with the thread.
Thank you, Sevyapara.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sevyapara, for the answer. So, is there anybody who would like to share any realizations, comments, questions? Yes, Sudevi, go ahead. You have again question.
Yes, Mataji. So, Mataji, my question is that what's the exact meaning of the title?
Sorry, I was muted. So the exact meaning of the title was, so it was the last line of bhaktyā tutoṣa bhagavān gaja-yūtha-pāya. That the last line, it means that without any, material riches or beauty or anything like that, even an elephant can be your devotee, can, give devotion. So because it's a verse, I cannot just give the exact meaning of the one line, but basically what it means is that without any material qualification, I can become your devotee, because Prahlad was born in a demoniac family. So he's thinking that I'm not as good as a Brahmana, but I can still be a devotee. And Utkanta Bhakti, the eagerness. So Ut means up, Kantha means throat. So, if you have little sisters or brothers, then when they look out of the cot, they're like peeking out. So that peeking out is eagerness, what is going on outside. So that eagerness to do bhakti is Utkanta Bhakti. So there is no qualification, there's no material qualification to do bhakti, but you have to be eager. That is the exact meaning of the title.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Oh, just me.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Sevyapara, Mataji. I really liked the presentation and it was really interesting and you kept me engaged. So I like the point when you said that you just need to hold the dhoti of Srila Prabhupada or like follow the footsteps of Prabhupada to go back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Oh, I see no more raised hands. Before I end the call, I'd like to announce Vikyat is there, Vinita is there, and Varun is there. Whoever joins Madhava Kids classes, you can present. Next presentation is on May 30. If you want to present on that day, you please contact me. My number you can find in all the groups, and I also put in my chat box. I put it in the chat box, my phone number. So please contact me for the next month presentation. May 30 is the presentation, next presentation. Okay. I would like to offer my obeisances to all of you. Vancha kalpataropiyascha patitanam pavanebhyo ananta koti vaishnavritti ki jai Srila Prabhupada Sevyapara ki jai Madhava ki jai all little kids ki jai. Okay then, see you all next week. Bye bye.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna everyone.